Boom. All right, faithful, we are back, man. The Nothing But Niners crew is here to give the faithful the floor. This show is not about us. We are going to tell you guys how we feel individually, but more importantly, we want to hear from the faithfuls, all right? So www.nothingbutniners.com is the website. What we're going to give you guys right now is 2 minutes to speak your mind. Get however it is you feel off of your chest. This is your moment. Other people are going to see this. Other people are going to hear this, all right? So if you guys are interested in joining and you are on Twitter, make sure you give Nothing But 9ERS a follow. Send us a direct message and say, I want in. Nick is going to pop in there. He's going to give you guys a link. You have 2 minutes to sound off and tell us exactly how you feel about the 49ers signing that low down, no good, dirty Adderall using motherfucker named Richard Sherman. We are going to go off on Richard Sherman right now. Mr. We're choking. Mr. fucking big ass turkey leg eating at the 50-yard line. Yeah, we're gonna go off about all of that. I'm sorry. Let me chill. Let me reel it back in a little bit.
So Mike, you forgot one main word in there, man.
What's that?
Well, actually 2 words. Talented winner.
Oh, whatever. He's a product of those safeties behind him. He's a product of that stellar pass rush. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to let you guys get this off of your minds. There were a ton of people who were against the Richard Sherman signing. There were a ton of people who were all for it if he's healthy. There are some people who are in between. That's what we want to hear from today. So before we get into all that nitty-gritty stuff, again, my name is Mike. I'm with Nothing But Niners. The website is www.nothingbutniners.com. If you guys are watching this for the very first time, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and set your alert so that you guys know every time we bring you guys a video. We do breaking news. We do player interviews. And we're going to do a sound-off segment for the first time. This could be completely disastrous. We could get people popping in here and say, I hate nothing but Niners. Hey, that's a risk we are willing to take, all for you guys, okay? Make sure you guys check us out on Facebook at Nothing But Niners. All right, click the like button over there. Make sure you guys check out the Instagram page, Nothing But Niners. Subscribe, follow us over there, whatever it is. Let us know some feedback. We have some great guys working the graphics. Zach makes a lot of the graphics. Mike is holding that down. He also holds down the Facebook page. We have Twitter account, Nothing But 9ERS. You guys make sure you follow that. And we even have a podcast, all right? In addition to the videos that we do, we have a separate podcast that you can find on any podcast avenue, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, iHeart, all that good stuff. You guys can find us anywhere there is a podcast, all right? So just search for us over there, Talk 49ers with Nothing But Niners or NBN and all that good stuff. You will find us there. There are 49 people watching right now, and I'm going to take that as a sign. This is our day, guys. This is our day, all right? We are here to do this. So what I want to do is I want to kick this one back to Dylan, because Dylan said that he hated Richard Sherman more than people that he actually personally knew. So I want to know why you hated Richard Sherman, or do you still hate him that much? And tell us how you're going to feel when you see him for the first time wearing the red and gold, or the black and gold if it's practice, or the white and red. However, when the first time you see him suited up in a 49ers jersey, whether it's number 25 or something different, how are you going to feel? How are you going to react? Break it down for us, Dylan.
Okay. Well, my hatred for Richard Sherman ended about 30 minutes ago. And up until that point, he was number one up there. It was like him and Dak Prescott for people I hate in the NFL. Okay. And it just ended. And I hate Richard Sherman for all the reasons that we've listed, the turkey leg thing, the way he trashed our team. But, I mean, I saw somebody say it in the live chat. That was the old regime. No carbs, no crab. I guess I don't have any reason to have any hard feelings anymore. Other than that turkey leg thing, that still pisses me off. But my hatred for Richard Sherman is over now. I will support him for the next 3 years or however long he is a 49er.
All right, that's good stuff there, man. Eric, I want to bounce this back to you, man. You are someone who I expect to not have any kind of bias because you're a former player. You break down a lot of film and everything. You talked about how he is literally the perfect fit, that he can impart knowledge and he can actually be a good product on the field for us. But I want to talk about your personal feelings. This is the reaction show. I want to know how you felt as a 49er fan about Richard Sherman prior to the signing.
It's one of those things where it's kind of like Tom Brady effect, but maybe even a little worse, where I think I hated him. I don't want to say I hated him. I just hated the idea of the Seahawks in general. I mean, it was like a strong hate. And just thinking of all the, the plays that he made against us, thinking about, them eating on the 50-yard line, a lot of it was really disgusting. But as a cornerback, I respected everything that Sherman stood for. So I hated the idea of him, him being a Seahawk. I hate the Seahawks. There's probably nothing I hate more than the Seahawk. But the athlete side of him, I loved everything. Being a cornerback, I loved everything that, Sherman was, a big trash talker, and he backed up everything that he said. More times than not, he backed it up, And I think usually when you want someone to fail, they're probably doing something right. So I wanted the Seahawks to fail. I wanted to always see Richard Sherman, get beat. I would always make excuses for if he made plays, like, oh, he only made plays because of this or that, or, he's not the number one best corner in the league. Patrick Peterson is. Joe Hayden, he deserved to get more, but he was always right there. Even in my biasness, he was always a top 3, top 4 cornerback in the league to me. So yeah, man, it's weird. It's weird to see him as a 49er now, man. It's gonna be weird to see him in that jersey, but as a player, man, I respect it, and I love the move.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to bounce this to Nick, man. But look, I kind of knew this was going to happen because the Niners got him in the building and they didn't let him go. I'm saying in the building, but you heard about him being at dinner. Then the next thing you know is they're talking about him going to get his medical stuff done and meeting with the team doctors and getting everything looked at and all. They weren't letting this guy go. And then all of a sudden, here comes a monkey wrench in the plans. And you hear a report that Richard Sherman has a meeting with the Lions scheduled for next week. Now, I started thinking about this. I was like, yo, Richard Sherman doesn't even have an agent. He represents himself. So where is this rumor coming from that he's got something going on with the Lions? So here's what I'm thinking. I think Richard Sherman was talking to the Niners. They were trying to woo him. He was feeling it. He was like, man, I need to figure out how to get more money out of these guys. I think he said, I got to use the bathroom. Excuse me. And he went and texted somebody on the line to say, hey, you guys interested in meeting with me? All he needed was a yes. And then he sent somebody a message and said, hey, I want you to say that I got an appointment with the Lions next week. That man needed some leverage. All right. Richard Sherman is his own agent, and he just pimped the 49ers, man. 3 years, $39 million with a signing bonus of $5 million. Those are the reported figures right now. So listen, is Richard Sherman a $13 million a year corner? Nick, I'm going to pass it to you and get your opinion on it because I know you're someone with strong beliefs, and you, just like myself, we had a strong distaste for anything Seattle. All right. I mean, I know personally, I hated that we picked up Brock Coyle. I hated that we picked up Malcolm Smith. Man, I hated that they picked up everybody that we cut. I couldn't stand seeing Garrison Smith go over there and playing on that defensive line. I was heated. I was fumed about little things, little people that most 49er fans don't even remember. You know what I mean? I wasn't mad that they took Michael Wilhoit. I was like, good. They deserve him because he sucked. That's how I felt about it. But other than that, I was heated about all these things. And then when it came down to Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch is hard to hate. I can't say Marshawn Lynch, but Russell Wilson and Richard Sherman, I hated those guys with a passion, like to my core. I wanted those guys to fail. My favorite gif is still the one where the interception happens and he exhales and like you can see him wince. That video gives me life to this day. I had to relive it because I had a feeling that I wouldn't be able to enjoy it as much anymore. So Nick, break down for us. How do you feel about this Richard Sherman signing, and is he worth $13 million a year?
Yes, he's worth it. Secondly, paybacks are a bitch, bro. Paybacks are a bitch. We're going to go in there now like that. Like, dude, we needed this. We needed this dog in that back, in that secondary, in that defense, man. I love players that play with that dog mentality. Like, you need that dog mentality to play in the NFL, right? It's what makes you successful. Most players that people don't like are doing something right. We said that before, right? I said this on the other video. Richard Sherman never did anything as a person other than talk shit to a 49er fan. The 49er fans hate him because he backed that shit up on the field. He fucking made plays when plays needed to be made. He talked his shit when he needed to talk his shit. And I love everything like that about him. I'm sorry. I think that we as 49ers with a young secondary, with an Adrian Colbert, with with Akello Witherspoon, with a Kwan Williams. We need that dog. That dog is going to bring this secondary to be the next best thing maybe on the 49ers. We get a pass rush. It's going to help the secondary. But, Mike, I think he's well worth the money, man. I understand that he's coming off an Achilles rupture. I understand that he had a bone spur off of his other foot. I'm sure Parag's going to do his magic, and the contract's going to be worked out to where if he doesn't work out, it's basically we're going to be paying him pennies. But if he does work out, he brings a lot of dog to this team. Croc, I know you like dogs, man. I mean, that to me, a dog is what a football player is, man. I don't need these bitch-ass pansies. They're like, oh, okay, he got the points. You know, oh, you didn't want to shake my hand? Oh, sorry. Nah, fuck that, dude. You're a man. You're a man in the NFL. Fucking shake my hand. If you don't, you're a pussy. Crabtree is a mediocre receiver. He wasn't lying. Crabtree is average, maybe below average if he has nobody on the other side. So, look, man, this is a great fucking move, man. I lost 100 followers on Twitter today because I said I was in support of Richard Sherman. You believe that shit?
Listen, man, you are in full-blown support. All of a sudden, you're bashing ex-49ers for this guy. You're sitting here saying that him talking junk was a good thing now all of a sudden. Look at how quick you flip-flopped on the Niners, man. You were letting the faithful down.
A mediocre receiver. Okay.
Come on. I'm not talking shit. Come on, man. You can't say that Crabtree is an above-average receiver. If he doesn't have something on the other side, look, he disrespected Richard Sherman by not shaking his hand. That's a man's world, bro. You win, you lose. When you lose, you still got to shake a hand like when Jim Harbaugh didn't shake hands with whatchamacallit's coach. Come on, man. That's poor sportsmanship.
Jim Harbaugh shook Jim Shorts' hand, but what he did was he slapped him in the back and said, "Good game, pussy." And that's what set everything off. That's when the fireworks took place. Listen, man, I'm going to flip flop because right now I'm in I hate Richard Sherman mode. Okay, so for the people who are watching right now, let us know that you want to join. We will send you the link so you guys can get on here. Is anybody in the DMs or anything like that? Like, what's going on? I want to get some faithfuls in here because I can't wait to see how people are reacting. I know everyone that follows Nothing But Niners is looking forward to Mr. No coming on the show. He will be here, guys. He is currently in the middle of a couple of drinks.
I just hope he doesn't start crying, bro.
If he brings tears, man, he's bringing his A game. That's all I can say. That's what it is, man. That's the A game for Ali. So listen, man, I'm gonna tell you guys the reasons why I hate Richard Sherman. One, he talks too damn much. All right. I remember this interview that he did with Skip Bayless, and he was like, "I'm better at life than you." Who the fuck are you to say that to another grown man, bro? That is the most disrespectful shit I have ever heard in my life. You don't say that to another man on his show. It was his own show. Eric, man, come on. Like, am I wrong here, man? Eric.
No, I loved it. Look, that was one. I was like, go ahead, then, Sherman. Get him, Sherman. Skip gets on there and he's talking, you know, he gives these takes and these debates and he does all these things. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he basically tried to belittle Sherman. He tried to take away from how good Sherman was. I just don't, man, I wish I gotta find that video now. But he said something.
The debate was about Darrelle Revis being better than Richard Sherman at the time. That's what the debate was about.
It was something like that. All right. So yeah. And he basically told him, like, But he had been waiting, like you could tell, because he came on fire. He had been waiting to get on with Skip. He had been waiting to get on with him because all I remember is Skip said something and he just boom, 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 just started throwing haymakers and uppercuts, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening right now. And you know, that was kind of his, I don't want to call it his coming out party, but as far as people knowing how, you know, opinionated he is, and maybe he's not somebody that you should just take lightly if you're saying things, or if you are saying things, just know he's probably listening. He was definitely listening to that, and he spit out his stats. You know, he had spit out about you know, the All-Pro, and he was saying it. He was like, "You're telling me I'm not better than Revis, but I'm one of two All-Pros, and Revis isn't one. You know, so how is he better than me? And who are you to tell me that he's better than me, and I'm on this list?" Like, that's your opinion, and your opinion doesn't matter right now, you know. And so it was like, I loved it. That was one time when I'm telling you, pre this signing, I couldn't stand a lot of Sherman, couldn't stand it. But that was one time where I was clapping. I was applauding him. I gotta find that video. I'm gonna try to watch it right now. I'm gonna find it so I can remember exactly how it came up and exactly what Skip was trying to say. But I do know it was like, these are facts. I know he came out with facts.
Look, that was the premise of my hate for Richard Sherman, man. He has no problem. Look, playing is one thing. If you're good, you're good, right? And of course, I hated everything that he did to the 49ers. I hated the batted interception in the end zone, which, by the way, was a horrible play call, but whatever. I hated that. You know what I mean? I hated watching him eat turkey at the 50-yard line. I hated watching him go on Skip Bayless's show and disrespect him like that. He don't care about disrespecting you in your own house. He don't care where he is. That stuff, like, oh my God.
Let the dog out.
Man, listen, man. We don't need dogs, okay? We got dogs. That boy Adrian Colbert, he's a dog back there already. All right. What, Dylan? I know you want to say something, Dylan.
Okay, you just say we don't need dogs? Nah, we need dogs. Okay, Adrian Colbert can hit. I love Colbert. But one dog? No.
Sorry.
And Mike, wait. Let me say something, Mike. And you were just saying earlier that Colbert can sit on the bench. You were just saying earlier Colbert can sit on the bench. Don't hide your face now. Yo, Colbert is a dog. I love Colbert, and I can't wait to get him on our show. But bringing this type of veteran in to help with that dog is that much better. Eric, am I lying? Come on, man. Look, let me go over some of these comments, man, because let's see. It's hard for me to see Sherman in the red and gold, but can't believe my hate has disappeared in the last 15 minutes, but it's revenge time. Fuck the Seacocks. Hold up. I just signed in. What the fuck? We got Sherm dog? That's go hard. Boy's always in here. Jacob, what's up, buddy? Can I get a shout out, please? And really, Sherman should not be a 49er at all. Well, that's your opinion. Jacob, hey, guys, if any of you want to join us, just let me know. I will send you the link, whether it's email, Twitter, DM, wherever you want me to send the link, I will send the link. We will give you 2 minutes live on the show to tell us what you're feeling. So let me know if you want to do that in the chat. I'm watching the chat. So also, and we can do that. So crap. Mike, why you got to run away, Mike?
Nah, I got too hype over here. I hit my my desk over here. And my webcam popped out. Listen, by the way, I was completely bullshitting when I said we don't need more dogs, because I just got done saying in our group chat like 2 days ago that we need more dogs. That's why I like Ndamukong Suh and things like that. So I do think we need more dogs. But Richard Sherman is a piece of shit. Richard Sherman should not be a 49er. He don't deserve to wear the red and gold colors. I'm speaking on behalf of the faithfuls who aren't here right now to represent and speak their mind. Now, if we can get some of these people on here, guys, if you want to jump in, go hard. I know you said you were out there. Where's Catalina? She said she was joining the show. Catalina, I'm calling you out. Ali, where you at? Abel, where you at? Anybody out there watching, if you want to get in, let us know. We will send you the link. You got 2 minutes to sound off. In the meantime, I'm going to speak that hate for everybody. How can y'all sit here and say that this bum-ass 30-year-old guy with no legs is all of a sudden worth $13 million? What the hell are the 49ers thinking? You're going to give him $40 million? Are you kidding me? What, Dylan, go ahead. You look like you something boiling. What, man? Like he's not worth it, bro. Not 30 years old coming off that injury.
Go ahead.
All right. We got our first person coming in to sound off. My man D Mills. What's going on, baby?
What's going on?
How you feel about this Richard Sherman thing, man? We finally got the guy. I want the faithful to sound off. You got 2 minutes right now, bro. The floor is yours. Feel free to ask us questions. If you just want to rant and vent, then you go ahead and do that. Get it off your chest. The floor is yours.
If you have problems with Sherman when he was in Seattle, cool, whatever. He's ours now. Get over it. All right? If he's good off this Achilles, this defense is going to be nice. Man. Y'all just don't understand. This dude has been top corner in the league since he got in the league. All right? He's running the same scheme. He doesn't have nothing to learn. All he got to do is come in here, recover, and get to it. I mean, why? And anyway, why do people have a problem with him? I know some people don't like the mouth. I get that. But as a corner and most receivers, that's what they do. That's part of their job description. So I only didn't like him because he was a Seahawk. He
So
ain't
they-
in those. He ain't in those sea chicken colors no more. So yeah,
Richard
let's move past that.
Richard, you're telling me Richard Sherman never did anything that bothered you? He never did anything that rubbed you the wrong way, Mills?
I mean, he was on the other team. What's he supposed to do? He's a good. Put it this way, he's a good character dude. But as an opponent, he's supposed to get on your nerves, rub you the wrong way, mess with your people, mess with the fans. I mean, as people, he's a good dude. He helps out in his community. Never been arrested. Never been in any kind of mess. He's intelligent. So, yeah, I'm past that.
My final yes or no question for you, brother, and I thank you for joining. Is a 30-year-old coming off a bad Achilles worth $13 million a year?
I hope it's not that because Prague hasn't given us a bad contract yet. But yeah, 13 mil off of that Achilles, that's my only. And here go my son. You see what he's rocking, huh? You see what he's rocking.
I see the colors, baby. You raising them right. That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, that money, that's the only thing that worries me. How he recovers from this injury. If he's good off the injury and he gives us 3 years of 2011 to 2017, Richard Sherman, I'm good with 13 mil. So I guess we'll see what he does once he starts the season.
All right. Well, Mills, again, thanks for joining us, brother. I really, really appreciate it. All right. Make sure you tell somebody, spread the word of what's going on to the family in the background. I see y'all. Thank y'all for letting us borrow him for a little bit. Hey, I voted for you, brother. I voted for you, young man.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll recruit them all over.
Yeah, keep up the good work. All right, man. We got to let you go, man. Y'all be safe, all right?
Yo,
All right.
Mike.
Hey, real quick.
What's up?
So I watched the video. I watched the interview, the first take again. How it came up was Skip said Richard Sherman isn't even in the same class and doesn't deserve to be mentioned with Revis. That's how it started. That's how it started. And he was like, so that's why he fired out on him.
All right. I can admit that was a reach. I can admit that was a reach.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I don't want to say it was a reach. It was Richard Sherman's second year. He made All Pro his second year. So that was kind of how it came about. I mean, but you know, they put his numbers out there. He had 12 interceptions in 2 years. I believe eight of them were the All Pro year. So yeah, Richard Sherman let him have it. So go ahead, but yeah, that was how that came about. He told him he wasn't. I don't know if he said it to him or if he just said it on the show in general, but he basically said Sherman is not even in the same class as Revis.
You're a second year player on your rookie contract, and you're going to tell a grown man with his own show that you're better than him at life and nothing he says matters on his platform, bro. The level of disrespect is crazy on that. It's crazy. I get it, and I understand why he was so hyped. But come on, dog. That's a whole different. That's somebody walking in my house and taking my plate of dinner that my wife just cooked for me and eating it. That's disrespectful, bro. That's disrespectful.
Well, I mean, he's a disrespect. He ate turkey on our 49er logo, so
Hard.
you know.
Yeah. Now, go ahead.
You know what I want to see I want to see a century link though. I want to see Sherman rip a 12 flag out of somebody's hands.
I think he got love for the fans over there, man. That was one of the first things he said, and he said it more than once in the statement that he released today or yesterday. I forget what day it came out, but he put out a little paragraph thanking the faithful. Look at me, thanking the fans. I'm not calling them thanking the Seattle fans, man. Fuck them. I don't give a shit, man. But he got a lot of respect for him. Dylan, I know you've been trying to say something for a while, man. Go ahead, spit it out. You wanted to say something before Mills even got on.
Look, I'm not even going to dignify half the stuff you said earlier with any response because I don't even know what you're talking about. I know.
What did I say that was wrong?
You retracted your "don't need the dog" statement because we know you were just messing around. But man, okay. First off, I don't know why we're acting like somebody disrespecting Skip Bayless is a bad thing. I mean, have you ever listened to Skip Bayless talk? He doesn't deserve what he has. So Richard Sherman is in fact better at life than Skip Bayless. So I have no problem with him saying that, and I wouldn't have had a problem with him saying that even while he was a Seahawk. Everything else I've hated him for is because he was wearing a Seahawk jersey, and that's why you hated him too, and that's why we all hated him. We're all thrilled to have him, and I don't know if anybody out there saw Eli Harold throwing this little nickname out there earlier, but I'm loving it, and it's the Wrecking Crew. And I'm ready for this defense to finally start coming around like the Wrecking Crew. I dig the name. I'm about it.
Did you say Eli Harold?
Look, I don't care how bad he sucks. He had a good nickname.
Eli Harold can't suggest some shit that he ain't even gonna be a part of, bro. That's like me naming somebody else's baby. Get the fuck out of here.
I sent the link. A Niner Inc. I sent that link to your email. So once you get that, you can just jump in. Make sure if you guys are jumping in, you just mute your microphone until myself or Mike call on you. Mike, you want me to go over some of these comments in here, man?
Hang on.
Absolutely, and break them down. What was that? What was that, Dylan?
Go ahead, Dylan.
I am gonna say I do have to head out about now. So I enjoyed the little group here. I hope everybody gets on there and shares the feelings. But most definitely, I'm digging the Richard Sherman. I can't wait to see him in the red and gold. And let's get this Wrecking Crew ready.
Be safe out there tonight, brother. All right. All right, he's gone already. Okay, so guys, listen, man. This show again is for you guys. So far, only Mills has joined. I know Nick said he just sent the link to somebody else, but Nick, I can only imagine what the comments look like right now. So go ahead and break that down for us. Let us know what the people are saying out there.
All right, 1 second.
Okay, I know a lot of people who are watching right now are able to type. They might not have the camera. They're not quite ready to come up here and say something. We did this kind of spur of the moment. We didn't announce it, so we don't expect there to be a ton of people jumping in, but I know that the comment section is probably going off right now. So in the meantime, again, guys, I want to remind you guys, this was reported that it's a 3-year, $39 million deal. So that's an average of $13 million a year for a 30-year-old veteran who is coming off of a torn Achilles. I got some pause about that, man. Eric, while Nick is looking that all up, like, do you like that? That's a lot of money. What are the top corners in the league getting right now on their second contracts? Because I can think of a lot of top corners, but like Marcus Peters, he's not quite there. He's on his first contract. What about somebody like Patrick Peterson and things like that? Tell me what those kind of guys are getting per year. I know Aqib Talib, he was tagged for $14 million a year, right? That's what his number was with Denver.
Nah, Talib had 2 years left on his deal. First year was $11 million. The next was $8.
So Sherman's bringing in even more than what Talib was bringing. I'm looking at this just as an annual thing. So you know,
right? So yeah, so 13 a year. Yeah. No, that's up there. I want to say the Josh Norman. Those guys, it's not 16 because I know Tremaine Johnson was the highest paid corner in the league the last 2 years with his franchise number, or he was getting at what 16. So Tremaine Johnson made $16 million last year. I believe that was the most in the league out of any corner. So it's less than 16.
Hey Croc, yeah. David Lopez says he's the 6th highest. They just said 6th highest cornerback paid in the league.
All right, but is that annually or? Is that like, you know,
that's just what one of the commenters were saying. So I didn't see that. I have to look it up.
All right, so I have the cap hit numbers here. Not so much the all right. I see Rob just joined, and I see that Jonathan just joined. So fellas, let me get this out real quick, and then we'll pop Jonathan up, and then we'll pop Rob up, so you guys can go ahead and speak your minds. But number one is Josh Norman. I'm looking at just cap hits. Okay, so cap hit of $16.9 million. Then there's Jimmy Smith at 15.6. Then there's AJ Boye at 15.5. Then Patrick Peterson at 14.9. Then Xavier Rhodes at 13.4. And then you have Janoris Jenkins at exactly 13. So Richard Sherman is going to come in underneath there. And then there's Kyle Fuller, who's at the 12.9. So he's up there. Like they said, number 6 is where he's going to fall in. That's if it's $13 million a year. So let's go ahead and bounce this over. We're going to give this to Jonathan so he can sound off. Take yourself off of mute. Let us know how you feel about the 49ers signing this enemy over here in Richard Sherman.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you guys. I'm with most people, you know what I mean. But it's mainly, can you guys hear me good? Okay, cool.
Good. I was just
You
trying to
know,
read.
it's
Bro, do you
the
work for
dude was on
NASA?
the dude was on the other side, so that's the main thing. And I was quick to judge a book by its cover, you know, the mouth and all that good stuff. But you know, it's just me being childish. You know what I mean? Like, dude's a competitor at the end of the day. So I'm excited. And just to go back to the start of the season, I knew our draft picks were solid. Like, I was excited. I didn't expect the offer, but I felt like with the picks that we got would lead to something going forward. But so with a pick like this, I'm ultra excited because of the, you know, what he brings ultimately. So as a fan, like I never been, I gotta be honest, I never been excited for a football season like I am, you know, going into this season. You know what I mean? That's before the Richard Sherman. It's just the whole Jimmy G effect. But no, just to answer the question, I'm excited. The dude, he's awesome. So if he's healthy, it's all good.
You call my man awesome. All right, that's dope. I gotta ask you a question, man. I was looking at the pin on your side. Do you work for NASA? Does that say NASA?
Okay, yeah. Let's full front. Yeah. I got NASA police here at Maryland. I'm from Maryland. So NASA police in the house.
I love it, man. I love it. All right, man. Thank you for jumping on. Is there anything else you want to say before we get you up out of here?
No, man. I love this. This is my first day. I gotta be honest. This is my first time checking y'all out, man. So I'm gonna be a lifer. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys live in the area, but I'm actually going out for the first time to San Francisco next month to check out just the city. But of course, I'm gonna go to Santa Clara. So good.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, you make sure you enjoy that. All right, it's a beautiful city. Nick and I went to the game last year, and for the Cowboys game, it wasn't pretty, but the city is great. The people out there are wonderful, and if you were seen wearing anything red and gold, everybody speaks to you, man. It's a beautiful place. So make sure you enjoy it. All right, man. You take care.
All right, good stuff.
All right, Jonathan with the good sound off, man. Thanks for jumping in. Now we're gonna pop my man Rob on here. All right, Rob, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What up, man? Not checking out my
feel about Richard Sherman is here, man. Like, come on, man. There's no way that I'm the only person that hated him before. Do you have any of that hate? Was it there? Is it there now?
Not anymore. Not anymore. Like the Bible says, forgive.
So it's all good to you now. That he has done no wrong ever.
Amen. Well, you know what, though? I never took it personally. It's just part of the business.
Okay. All right. Now, how do you think he's going to hold up, man? So we all know about the injury that he's coming off of. 30 years old. It's going to take a little bit longer to heal than someone, you know, who's 21, 22 years old. Are you nervous about that? Do you think he's worth the $13 million a year?
We'll see. That's for the good Lord to decide.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right about that too, right? And then when you were you a fan of the 49ers when they were eating turkey on the 50-yard line?
Oh yeah.
Now,
been a Niner fan since young.
Oh, okay, all right. So you got more experience at it than I do. I mean, all right. So here's my last question for you before we let you go. Were you with your family when that was happening? And if so, how did you react when you saw that?
We didn't really care. We were just eating turkey at the same time.
So you guys had a turkey cheers with Richard Sherman and Russell Wilson. Man, that is hard for me to swallow. I was upset. I personally was mad. I couldn't believe it was happening. I was wondering why they didn't cancel that segment of the show, being that we were at home and that was happening, man. My feelings were hurt there. Is there anything else you want to say, Rob, before we move on?
Well, this might be finally the first time I'll be buying tickets in the last few years. I haven't made the drive up from Fresno in the last few years, but finally I have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
See what the schedules come out on what game gets scheduled near my birthday this year.
And when is that? What month is your birthday? What was that?
September 25th.
Oh, okay. All right. So you should be getting like a week 3, week 2, week 3 kind of game. Okay, that'll be a lot of fun. So listen,
we're doing an AT&T Park and Levi's doubleheader that weekend.
Sounds good, man. I really hope you enjoy it. It's a little early, but happy birthday from us here at Nothing But Niners. All right, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your time and for your support, man. We really appreciate it, Rob.
Take care. Peace. Go Niners. Go Giants.
Let's go. All right, guys. Listen, man. Rob had no problem with it. They didn't care. They didn't care. So I'm the only person here that felt like that kind of stuff was disrespectful. All right, Eric, let me ask you a question, man. You've played the position. Oh, Nick, go ahead. You want to say something? I'm sorry, Nick.
Yeah, I just wanted to make. Nobody said that people weren't pissed off at him for being disrespectful. Like I understand all the disrespectfulness. You talk shit when you can't, when somebody doesn't back it up. But that's not going to stop me from wanting that type of person or that type of dog on my team. Like, did I hate when he did that shit? Did I hate when he sat on our fucking 50-yard line eating a goddamn big-ass piece of turkey? Yeah, I did. But he's with us now, man. World's changing. Like, I can't not let a guy come here because of what he's done on the field to my team when he can do the same exact things with my team to another team. Talent is talent. Winning is winning. I'm all about the Niners, man. I'm not a personal player person or anything like that. So did I think it was disrespectful? Yeah, I did. But I will damn well watch him disrespect somebody else as a Niner.
I hear you, man. I'm ready to talk shit about our secondary. I love what Ahkello Witherspoon was bringing last year. I can only imagine what it's going to be like now with Sherman on the other side. I was watching, excuse me, I was watching that Houston game just this morning, as a matter of fact, and I watched how they took Hopkins right before the half ended. They took Hopkins and they targeted only him, and they marched down the field and scored a touchdown. And when the second half started, they did the same exact thing, only targeting Hopkins, and marched down the field and scored again. That was a game that the Niners were in control of until those two possessions right there. And what they did was they targeted Dante Johnson like crazy on those two drives. That ain't going to happen now, assuming that Richard Sherman bounces back. So, Nick, I want you to get the comments pulled up. I know you said that you want to read them. And, Croc, I got a question for you, and if you don't have an answer right away, we'll let Nick read the comments while you think about it. But can you think of the last time someone Richard Sherman's age had an Achilles injury? And I want you to talk about how this injury is going to be different for someone like a running back or a lineman, where how a corner has to read and react and have to make changes that their body might not be anticipating because they're in a reaction thing as opposed to preparing for it, and they know which way they're going to break like a receiver would.
Yeah, I think most recently it was Terrell Suggs, right? He tore his Achilles, and he did it at a pretty short older age. I'm probably even older than 30 years old. Now, obviously, pass rushing is a little bit different. A lot different than cornerback who's moving backwards and then has to go forward. But just talking about the recovery process for someone of his age, I think it's possible, man. I think with everything, it all comes down to how does someone take care of their body and how hard they work to come back from a certain injury. So when I think of it like that, I don't have any doubt that eventually Sherman will come back and play at a high level. I just don't know exactly how soon. But I don't have any doubts that, Sherman will come back and, be playing at a high level. Regardless of age. I think when you're a hard worker, you're a hard worker.
Yeah.
Even NaVorro Bowman, as much as, grief as everybody gave him, he wasn't exactly the same or whatever, but his mobility and everything was limited anyways. He had been limited with his mobility even before the Achilles injury.
Where's the lights, bro?
Like he finished the season on a strong note for the Raiders. So, I just think it all depends on each person, man, and how hard they work to come back from those type of things.
All right. So I like that. Nick, you got some of those comments there?
Yeah, so the one guy said he was dying laughing at you saying you can't even make a nickname if you ain't even gonna be part of it. Happy Hungry Sleepy said we had Dante Johnson last season, guys. Who gives a fuck how much we pay him? World One Logan said we all hated Dion and Sherman, but when Dion came and played for us, we like him when he performed well and helped us win, and the defense played better, so just let's welcome to the team and move on. Happy Hungry said it's not my money. Kevin Watts said Niner faithful, Norwell is signing with the Giants. We're paying the same amount Seattle was going to pay him. Someone said I'd rather have an injured Sherman over a healthy Dante Johnson. Oh, yeah, somebody said Eli Harrell can't nickname some some shit he ain't gonna be a part of. I'm dying here. That was Han Parker.
All right, boys. What's going on, Croc? What's going on, Mike? What's going on, Nick? How you doing, boys?
Hey, what's up, buddy? We're trying to go over these comments real quick.
Okay.
Give us a second. Let's see. After some thought, I have to say welcome, Richard Sherman. CJ McGuire, I need your email to send you that. Someone said, are we getting a full Richard Sherman or a flaccid Richard?
Flaccid?
Yeah, flaccid Richard.
That's funny. I see the play on words that you did there. I'm not going to talk about another man being flaccid or not. But I think
wasn't going to say
the Niners. I don't think that the Niners would have extended this kind of deal to him if they weren't confident at his recovery. I did hear before he was cut by Seattle, and it was just rumors that they were going to cut him. I did hear that Richard Sherman was ahead of schedule. So that's a good thing. I think that they went through and did all the exams and everything today. He met with the team doctors, and I think that they liked what they saw. So that's all you can ask for. We're hoping for the best. All right, look at the puppy getting some FaceTime over there. All right, Ali, man, here's your moment, bro. I want to know how you feel about this because you were in the group chat talking all kinds of shit about you didn't want Richard Sherman, wasn't worth it, and all that stuff. And then you were also talking about how the Niners weren't making any moves and the Rams are the cream of the crop. What say you now, Ali? This is your moment.
Hey,
look
Mike,
how fresh my hair is. First of all, look how fresh my hair is, eh? Holy! No, but in all seriousness, man, like he's a Niner now, man. What am I gonna say? I support the logo more than the player. You know, what am I supposed to say?
You changed your tune, bro. I thought you were gonna bring that fire. I thought you were gonna be all fuming,
dude. What am I supposed to do? I love the logo more than the player. Like I hate the player. But I love the logo more than the player. What am I supposed to do?
Do you still hate Richard Sherman? That's the question. That's the question.
Give me like 2 minutes.
Do you still hate Richard Sherman, bro?
Yeah, I do. I hate him. I hate his guts. I'm with Abel. Abel was going off on him, wasn't he? Yes. If you're in the Nothing But Niners group chat, you know what Abel was saying, echoing the same things I was saying, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
And you know what? The thing that worries me is he brought up some good points, and I mentioned a little bit of it as well. He's coming off a major injury, and I'm worried about that. I'm worried about the major injury, and I don't know if he's still the same player that he was in 2012 and 2013. That's a major concern of mine because I don't know if we're getting a Richard Sherman on the back nine of his career, or if we're getting a front nine Richard Sherman, or a middle of the thing. If he's turned the corner, you know what I mean. So it's a major concern of mine. I still personally I don't like him. It's going to take some time to digest. To every faithful watching this video right now, I don't know how many are in here and how many will watch this. As soon as I found out about the signing, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I went to the bar. I ordered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drinks.
That's one for every Super
2,
Bowl.
3, 4, 5 shots in about 20 minutes because I was so conflicted. I was fighting myself. I had to come on here to quickly give my opinion, but I love this team more than I love a single player. So I don't know what else to say.
Hey man, that's all you got to say, man. That's what we're hoping that the fans will do, man. In all honesty, man, my hate for Richard Sherman, it's not about Richard Sherman the man. It's more about Richard Sherman the Seahawk. And since he's not that anymore, like you said, there's not much to hate on. I know we're working on 2 more guests here. I want to get these people on really quick. I know you said you were reading the comment. You said you got to send them the link, and then you just sent me a message saying that there's another one.
I'm a hop off though. I appreciate giving me my moment.
Brother, I hope you're not driving out there tonight. You be safe out there.
No, I won't. I won't.
Keep your back up against the wall, man. Your hair looks too nice. You're a little pretty tonight.
All right, bro.
Be safe, man.
All right, peace.
So, Croc, okay, all right, Eric. Damn, I had a really good question for you while Ali was talking, and I didn't want to interrupt him, and I should have wrote it down. Are the Niners still going to pursue another corner? Is there someone else that the Niners should be bringing in free agency? Not so much the draft. I do think we're going to draft somebody because you want to bring somebody in when you have a 30-year-old corner. But are the Niners going to still be going after somebody in free agency?
I think so. I mean, I think what's going to – yeah. So I mean, right now, even with Sherman, we only have 2 outside corners. Well, 3 if you count Maven. I believe we have Maven still. So we have 3 outside corners, only 2 that are potential real legitimate starters. So you got 2 guys that are legitimate starters. And one, I don't know what the conversations were like, but I'm assuming he won't be 100% come week 1. I'm not 100% positive. But if he's not going to be 100% come week 1, see, he got hurt in what, November? When did he get hurt?
He said he'll be on the treadmill in 2 weeks.
He'll be on the treadmill in 2 weeks. So that's March, close to April. April's reporting time. You got May, and then June they go home. July you have training camp. Maybe he will be ready by week 1. For 4 weeks of preseason, maybe he will be ready by week 1. But if he's not, I think you have to have someone else that is a legitimate potential starter alongside Ahkello Witherspoon. I don't think that would be a rookie. I think you would try to get somebody like a Rashad Melvin, where to me, he's maybe not a guy that you want to have to start 16 games, but I think he can be a guy that either starts if somebody gets hurt and you're comfortable with him, or somebody to fill in until Sherman gets there. Also, somebody else. There's a lot of names at cornerback, but I've heard Desire or Desser or whatever from the Colts. I've heard his name get thrown around.
Desir,
yeah, I've heard his name get thrown around. I like what I saw from him on film. For the most part, when I was watching Melvin's film, he made some nice plays. He had a really nice interception downfield. Really athletic. He checks all the boxes. Height, weight, speed, all that. And then a guy like Maurice Claiborne, who I know people, maybe aren't too keen of. Coming from out of Dallas, and he played with the Jets last year, but he was decent with the Jets. I think he could be somebody else that is a potential, fill-in guy for, until Sherman's healthy or, if somebody goes down. So, Desir, Claiborne, Melvin, those are probably, names that you still might, hear 49ers, make a signing.
Do you think Breeland falls out of that category? Is Breeland still somebody that the Niners could, or is he going to be outpriced?
I want to say that he's a tier above those guys, so he might be expecting a little bit more money. And I don't think you're paying someone else to be a legitimate starter like that. I think somebody is going to pay Breeland starting money. So I would be surprised if Breeland were to get signed.
All right. So thank you, Eric, for breaking that down. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to give you guys another special guest that has joined us now. Tracy from
49ers Fangirl.
Yeah, no, Fangirl Sports Network is here. 49ers Fangirl on Twitter. Thank you so much for joining us. The floor is yours. Her video just disappeared. Where'd she go?
I'm back. Sorry. Can you hear me?
You are. Yeah. There you are. The floor is yours.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Richard Sherman, how do you feel about it? Break it down for us.
Can you hear me, first of all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. You know what? I feel really good about it. It's been a little bit of a joke all day. You may have seen between Warriors Fangirl Stephanie McCarroll and I, because there was a time not long ago where whenever I would mention him in a game preview, I would say he who should not be named and just point to his photo. And as I said to Steph earlier today, you will never see a switch flip so fast in your life, and I'm not even ashamed about it. I think it is it is a great signing for a lot of reasons, because no matter how much he has left in this tank, which I am actually going to assume, because I really trust John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, and obviously have gotten to know them quite a bit over the last year. They know what they're doing. He's healthy. They're not giving him a $39 million contract, which I believe $10 million guaranteed if he is not healthy. So I don't think that that is a concern. But at the end of the day, he automatically brings talent and mentorship to that backfield. And that backfield really needs that. He will be a great mentor to Keller Witherspoon. They will draft a corner. As I came in, I believe that's what you guys were finishing up talking about there. They're going to draft a corner, and he will be an immediate mentor for that corner. And the reality is with Richard Sherman, we have not liked him as 49ers fans because the choking thing at Cap in the NFC Championship game, which I'm a Cap fan, I did not like that. Him going off on Aaron Andrews, the theatrics during the Thanksgiving game. But at the end of the day, he's never done anything bad. He doesn't get in trouble. He has never hit a woman. He's never get in trouble for drugs. You don't get him in these like ridiculous videos that we're seeing over the last several days. He's a smart man, and he's a smart football player. And if he's got some attitude on the field, this defense could use that. So I think this is a really good signing. I feel really, really strong about it. I think that it's going to end up being a great thing for the 49ers. I think it's going to be all of a sudden really fun to play the Seahawks again. I think it's great. I really have no issue with it whatsoever. And I've seen people on Twitter, people had said, on Facebook, well, I can't deal with his character. But really, and this is coming from a person who hated him, what is really so wrong with his character? He taunts on the field, it's theatric, it's part of the brand, but he backs it up. The man is a solid football player. So it's been not fun to be on the receiving end of it, but football's a business. I tweeted this earlier. It is not show friends. It is show business, and the 49ers are in the business of winning football games. And they have added a solid player to their roster that will help them be a contender. So I think it's great.
Solid breakdown. Solid breakdown there from Tracy. And she brought some new information. I heard about the $39 million. I heard over the 3 years. I heard about the $5 million signing bonus, but now you're telling me
that I'm wrong. I don't think I brought you new information. I read it. I said I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what I read. I read it quickly, so I haven't brought you new information. I can look it up while we're talking, but I don't think I brought you new information. I don't want to be quoted on incorrect.
Okay, I was going to say, because the $10 million, if it was only that, then that tells me that it might be a 1 year type of thing where they can get out of it easily, which means that they might be
I can pull up. Let me look it up really quick if you want. Mm-hmm. Just so that we have everybody the correct information. Speak amongst yourselves. Let me pull it up.
We got you, no problem. So Nick,
I'm sorry. It is a $5 million signing bonus. I got overly excited and got super excited by the 10 because all of a sudden I'm on the Richard Sherman train, choo choo. But it is a $5 million signing bonus, so that was my bad. So
okay. There. All right, so the guarantee money is still something I'm waiting to see, because that's going to say how they feel about his injury. If you're going to guarantee him, let's say 17 or 18 of that $39 million, then that means that they think that he's got 2 years left in him where he can play in a good way. So that's going to be something that's very critical to find out. Also,
as more of those details come out, I don't think the guaranteed money has come out yet. I was confusing it with signing bonus. So we'll see. I'm sure that will come out over the next couple of days or hours. Things seem to be moving really fast today.
Yeah. I mean, Tracy, like you said, man, there was an all-out war all over Twitter today. It's just – but, like, I was trying to tell fans today, like, business is business. This guy backs up his business on the football field. He's an amazing talent. And, I mean, this all really boils down to his health, in my opinion, with his health. But I don't think, like you said, I think that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan will make the right decision for this team moving forward. They had their doctors check him, do whatever they need to do. The same with the Reuben Foster thing. We moved up to get Reuben Foster. He was healthy. He said he was going to be ready for week 1. If he didn't get a high ankle sprain, he would have been playing. But overall, for the team, I think this brings a lot of leadership, a lot of mentored player to be able to mentor Keller Witherspoon, even Kwan Williams, or whoever we draft, or if we bring in somebody like a Breland or a Desir or somebody like that to help that backfield out. This is definitely a team move. This definitely is, in my opinion, well worth it. And that's what I was trying to tell a lot of Twitter. And they're all a little anxious right now because of all the trash talking and stuff. But I can guarantee you, the minute that he takes a pick six to the house, or he does this or does that, they're all going to be right on board, because this is a good team move. Good team move.
It's a good team move, especially when that pick six is against Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah,
even really going to be into it. People are going to be really excited about it.
Yeah. So, Trace, I really appreciate you jumping on and giving your
Absolutely.
I know we talked about getting you on a podcast later this year. We'll get you on if you're still willing to do that.
Absolutely.
And we'll get things going once this free agency starts, man. I don't think Monday can come fast enough, because I think Niners fans and the rest of the league are ready to see what's going to happen with all those trades the other day with Cleveland. So,
guys, if you don't, for the people who are still viewing this, if you guys don't follow Tracy and her network, I want Tracy to give her information, because she does a lot of good work, and she has a good network that she's doing. She's expanding things, and it's not just football. She's got basketball. I believe I see something in baseball also?
No, we don't baseball yet. One of our son's fangirl, though, who's also our Cardinals fangirl, is a reporter for MLB.com.
Oh, okay.
So follow her, and she will definitely keep you up to date, because she is a reporter for MLB.com, and she's awesome. But you can find me at 49ers Fangirl. And then if you just go to @Fangirl Sports, we can direct you to all the fangirls. There are 15 NBA and 8 NFL. And there'll be all 32 NFL teams this fall. So we are expanding fast, which is exciting. But don't you worry, I will still be covering the 49ers. So not to worry there. So, well, thank you for having me on, you guys. And happy Richard Sherman Day.
Hey,
who thought I would have ever said that in a million years?
Yeah, I know. Trace, one more question, and I just want to see,
Sure.
have you heard anything else about receivers? Have you heard any kind of rumblings or anything like that?
I haven't heard anything else at the moment. They've been, I think this regime is pretty tight-lipped, which is a positive. So I haven't heard anything else about at the moment. So we shall see. I think that the next few days are going to be really interesting. And I know a lot of people want Allen Robinson, and obviously he'd be a great addition. But I will venture to say, and I don't want people to get too mad at me, but receiver is still a need. It is not the glaring need it once was. And I don't know how big a name that they're going to bring in, but that's not something I've heard. That's just my own personal feeling, since they just did sign Marquise, the contract extension. They have Pierre Garçon coming back. Trent Taylor obviously has been great in the slot. And so obviously they need to add a receiver, but they potentially may feel comfortable with where they are. But listen, we got a few more days, and I think they're going to bring – I just feel like we'll get a big name somewhere in the next few days, and so it could very well be a receiver and O-line. You invest in Jimmy G, so if you're invested in Jimmy G, you're going to have to give him the tools to, as they keep saying, to keep him as successful as possible. And those are places where I think we'll see that.
Absolutely. Thanks for that insight. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you joining us. And like I said, we'll be in contact, get you on one of our podcasts or one of our live YouTube shows coming up again. Yeah. So once again, thanks for joining us, guys. You guys know where to find her. Make sure you guys follow that 49ers Fangirl and all the Fangirl sports networks, because they have definitely grown over there. They are definitely putting out good content over there as well. And you can find them anywhere. So great job over there, Tracy. I commend what you guys are doing over there. And I really, really appreciate your work as well.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the support, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So there you have it, guys. No new news as far as the contract goes. The 49ers have signed cornerback Richard Sherman, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks, to a 3-year deal worth $39 million with a $5 million signing bonus. The guarantees, again, I say this all the time with every signing, every time we do a breaking news segment, the guarantees are going to tell you what the team really thinks. That's fact. $5 million signing bonus isn't a lot, considering that he's got $39 million on the total contract. So I can't wait to see what the guarantees are. This might end up being just a 1-year deal where they can spread some stuff out or give them options afterwards. Is there anything else that you guys want to say? Because I got to run. Nick, Eric, is there anything else you want to say before we get up out of here, brother? No? Eric is good. What about you, Nick?
I'm good, man. I'm going to sleep good tonight. I don't care about losing 100 followers on Twitter, because I'm going to sleep good, because this means we are going to be competing this year, and John Lynch is going to go out and get Kyle Shanahan what he needs to win and beef up this defense as well as offense. I'm super excited and proud to be a 49ers fan as always. And I'm just super stoked.
My closing remarks are going to be as follows, guys. I talked a lot of shit when we started this video because I love that the intensity that the faithful had and how passionate they were. Everyone was willing to argue about the Richard Sherman signing. Leave it there, Nick. Everyone was willing to argue about the Richard Sherman signing. People were saying that they liked it. People were saying they hate it. I'll never cheer for him. I saw people saying I'm going to go out and get his jersey. There were so many different things that we were seeing. I brought this negative feel to everything that was going on when we first started because that's what some of the faithfuls were saying. But when it's all said and done, he is in red and gold. We cheer for the team. We don't cheer for the individual players, although we like them. Once those players leave, most of the real fans stay. That's why we call ourselves a faithful. And so that's what this is all about right now. Richard Sherman is now a part of us. We're going to have to embrace them, guys. We're going to have to welcome them. I don't want to hear any booing when the games start and things like that. That's not what we do. That's not how we get down. Go ahead, Eric. Was you saying something, Eric?
Nah, my dog, he over here.
Oh, I thought you were waiting for your hand, trying to get my – okay, I see the dog now in the full – oh, my bad. But, yeah, so, guys, listen, man, when it all comes down to it, I am on board with the Richard Sherman signing. I think the rest of us are also. He's a hell of a player. We saw the Los Angeles Rams picking up players left and right. I mean, from Shields to Talib to Peters, and every time they showed a graphic with Talib and Peters, guess who was always right there in the middle on all those graphics? It was Richard Sherman. And there's a reason the Niners went out and got him because that guy can play football. He can flat out ball. And if you doubt that, go back and check the numbers. Go back and check the tape. The last question that I have for Eric, that's what it was. I know what it was I wanted to ask you when Ali was talking. Does Richard Sherman really hold as much as 49er fans said he did? Or was that just something that we were seeing because we hated him? That's the question I have for you.
Man, I got a saying, man. Well, I got it from my coach. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Awesome.
So, you know what I'm saying? He holds. I don't think he holds any more or less than anybody else. I think certain people just get called for it. Maybe some people know how to hold a little bit better than others. But no, he's aggressive. That's what we'll call that. He's aggressive.
I appreciate the answer. What I'm worried about though is that in Seattle, I think the referees, the Seattle secondary, the Legion of Boom and all that, they had this persona. They had this, like, the referees anticipated these guys to be so good that I think they got away with holding because the refs are like, no, that's how you're supposed to play. When the Niners do things like that, you saw how they were getting Robinson, they were getting Johnson, and there were a lot of plays that the refs were calling on Robinson that weren't really bad plays on his part. And so what I'm worried about is Richard Sherman coming to the Niners and having that the refs watching us under that microscope, plus his injury, so the refs are going to expect him to be a step slower, so they're going to be looking for more things. So that's what I'm worried about. Hopefully I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong, knock on wood. I hope I'm wrong about that. But
and I don't think it'll be anything that they call. Get down. I don't think that he's a puppy. He's just he's a K Corso, so he's like hella big already.
Yeah.
But my bad. But anyways, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be anything that they call, more or less. I just went over and watched a film of him today. I watched an entire game from 2016, and I didn't see anything that was like too alarming with, potential penalties or anything like that. So. I don't, maybe he gets called once every 2 games for holding, something like that. I don't think it's going to be like an every game occurrence or 5 times in the game he gets called for holding.
Okay. Sounds good to me, man. So, faithful, man, that's going to be it for the show. Nick, take us home, baby.
Yeah, guys, just one other thing real quick. I'm working on a project. If you guys want to be a part of that, you can send me. I'm looking for people to send in a video clip. Doesn't have to be too long. Could be 30 seconds, could be a minute, as long as you can fit everything in there. But I'm looking for a faithful to send in a video stating who you are, where you're from, how long you've been a faithful, what made you become a faithful, and then also give a shout-out to Dwight Clark. And I'm going to put all those together. It's going to be called the Nothing But Niners Faithful Empire video. We're going to put that together. So if you guys can send me your submissions, send them over to our email at nothingbutniners@gmail.com. And yeah, man, this is a great show, man. I'm super pumped for the year coming. And this one last picture I want to show everybody right there. Look at that. John Lynch with Richard Sherman and his wife. And it looked like, I think that's Parag. I can't really see it. Look there.
Yeah, we'll post it. We'll post it up.
So we'll post that picture as well. But guys, man, thanks for joining, all of yous. It's been great. Thanks to Tracy. Thanks to all the fans that jumped in. And above all else, stay faithful. We out.